here, and oddly enough, the board game section. That one is where because PC, especially going for big box PC, they're odd shaped boxes, so they don't know where else to put them. And the glass display cases tend to be the other place that you want to look because they'll often stack them up in there. The pricing on them varies, depends on the Goodwill. I've had them anywhere from $1 to $5. Some price based on the number of discs. It just varies. Yeah, I mean there's some you cannot beat. Yard sales. These are great places to find. Craigslist is where I find a lot of my yard sales, but my local newspaper still has quite a few. There are a lot of older people that still use the newspaper to advertise yard sales. And so going to those, especially if you find a parent selling off their kids' old game systems, because hey, they're just video games, they're not worth much. One of my best finds, this isn't the one I'm going to tell you about later, but one of my best finds, I was at a flea market in Roanoke called Happy's. Not there anymore, but it was there a few years ago. And this family was selling their SNES games. And I looked, they're $4 each. Yeah, common, sports game. Is that Chrono Trigger? Yes, it is. And then Final Fantasy Mystic Quest. Okay, $4 each. Take my money. I was that mean. And so I picked up a card-only copy of Chrono Trigger for $4.
What do we currently have?
I actually recently got rid of most of my SNES games because I found a guy in North Carolina who had a 100-piece big box PC game set that he traded me for my SNES games. Because again, they're more the PC games are more what I want, but I kept 2 of the SNES games because I also want a complete Wing Commander set. So I kept the 2 Wing Commander games. They're not great games, but you gotta have them if you want the complete collection. Conventions, there is a video game seller here. I definitely recommend checking them out. I've checked them out, their prices are good. They have some really good stuff there. In fact, I picked up.
Cleaned up their good stuff. So
I got Final Fantasy 2. Thanks to my Brandon back there. So, but conventions are a great place, especially video game centric conventions. Super Famicom in Greensboro, North Carolina was a good one. There's not as many on the East Coast right now, but there's MagFest. I found out about the Super Famicom, and there's another one down. There's a big swap meet down in Greenville later this year in South Carolina. But they're a great place to find them. How to price what you find. Now this is where it gets interesting. If you're looking for stuff in particular, or you think there's a chance they're going to have something in particular, do your research before you get there. It's kind of hard to talk somebody down or haggle if you don't actually know what it's worth, or they know something about it that you don't. For instance, I didn't even try to haggle with the $4 Chrono Trigger. I just want to take my money, please. And in fact, at that lower price, there really wasn't much room to haggle with anyways. But I bought 2 games from them. I might could have talked them down to $5 for both games, or picked up a third game for $10. Who knows? I just didn't have a third one worth it. But don't be afraid to haggle. But also, don't be insulting when you do. There's no faster way to tick somebody off than to basically offer them way too low. Like Chrono Trigger, cart only is worth right now between $70 and $90, depending on the site you look at. Okay, if that had been a Chrono Trigger priced for say 50 or 60, probably wouldn't have it. Probably just would have paid the money and bought it. If it was priced at around say 75 or 80, I might have tried to talk them down to 60 or 65. But just if you think they know what they're selling, don't ever try to insult a seller. But if you find something unexpectedly, pop into Goodwill, and all of a sudden they've got a 3DO FC1 model there. You don't know how much that's worth. If you got a smartphone on you, fastest way to check is eBay closed auctions or pricecharting.com. Price charting now.
Get back here.
Basically, you want to get rid of the low price and the high price on price charting. Take what's in the middle. That tends to be a more accurate price. But they actually go across a bunch of the different sites and collect the different prices found on different sites. eBay, Amazon, half.com, and then they've got their own trading system. Oh, did they? I haven't checked. I actually haven't looked them up in a while.
Really, Yoshi?
They added that as a feature that you can compare.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, GameStop actually has some retro stuff now, but it's mostly the more common Mario's, Zelda's, stuff like that. You can find them in some of the GameStops in their glass cases.
Dang it, Yoshi.
Yeah, it's interesting. It's
You're gonna get us killed.
Oh yeah. But look them up and go. Like I said, what you want is the closed, completed auctions on eBay. That's what they actually sold for. Otherwise, you're going to get something that's what they hoped to sell it for. But when you're looking for the games and you're getting ready to price them, look for defects. There are some. It's harder with cartridge games.
Really?
But like if you're at a Goodwill, look for game cases with no game inside. I
Yoshi,
always
get back
check the case. Thrift stores and Goodwill is where this
Oh my
tends to
God,
happen
Yoshi!
first. Game cases with the wrong disc inside,
swear
same
to
thing.
God.
I picked up a copy one time of,
Oh no.
I think it was
No.
New Super Mario Brothers U, and they
Go save
had
the
Wii
dinosaur, they
Sports in
said.
it.
It'll be fun, they said. Yoshi
So,
loves you, they said.
Yeah, and they're like,
Wrong.
oh
Yoshi
wait,
doesn't
this is
love
only
me.
$5.
He loves making me
And,
die.
Games that are heavily scratched or have really tarnished pins. The pins are more for the cartridge-based games, but if they're heavily scratched, if it's on the bottom
That
of the
was
disc,
nerve-wracking.
there's a chance, as long as it's not
Darn
too
you,
deep, that you
Yoshi.
get it buffed out, it'll work. If you have a
You're in way
label
more trouble
on a
than your
CD
work.
disc that is damaged, garbage it. That is actually, the data is stored on the layer directly underneath
Time
the
to
label.
go.
So if you can see through the disc, it's worthless. Games with no label or a label that looks like it's been modified. Repros are a big thing these days. And even without repros being on the scene, you have people that'll switch the boards all the time. I've seen examples of where people have put, like John Madden, because you can buy a ton of sports games for cheap. Pull the boards out of them and then put them in other cases to make them look like more expensive games. I saw that with Legend of Zelda once at a pawn store. So always, if you're hesitant, and that's really where the last three on the list are, or the last one on the list, really you need to check and see if you can test ahead of time, are the cartridge games. CDs is kind of hard to fake, but cartridge games, unfortunately, it is easy to reproduce them or to alter them. In fact, you can buy the screwdriver kit off Amazon for, I paid like $7 for it, to actually open up and inspect cartridges. This usually, now there's non-nefarious reasons you want to do that, and this will come into maintaining your games later. On some cartridge games, they have battery backups. Well, those CR2032 batteries will fail eventually, and they'll stop holding a backup. Or a save game in general, or the games that won't work because they can't read certain data held in that ROM. So that's one reason you would have the screwdriver kit. Another reason is to check for altered games. But if you can buy them, anyone else can, and that's when you start getting into issues. When it comes to maintaining them, this is where it gets fun, in both a literal and a figurative sense. For one
Alright,
thing,
y'all.
you get to play the
I will
systems.
be back momentarily.
You need to turn them on really about at least once a year. I'd recommend, especially for even older systems, once every 6 months. Because the thing is if you let them sit, and this is where I actually recommend under the stored or cool, dry environment with a little humidity, I'm talking like 30% humidity or less, you don't want them to dry rot. If you're in a completely
If I can get over that die.
humidity-free environment, there's actually a chance stuff
Alright,
can dry
let me
rot.
actually turn this so that it's
So you want a little bit of humidity, but not a lot.
side there.
You want to try to clean them, power them on, like I said, at least once a year, maybe more. Denatured alcohol. This actually evaporates the fastest and cleans the cleanest. Do use something like a Q-tip when you're cleaning the pins. You don't want anything rough. Do not use a Brillo pad. Do not use steel wool, anything like that, because that can actually damage the contacts or the traces if you accidentally go above the contacts, which would ruin an otherwise perfectly fine game. For CD-based systems, I definitely recommend using a CD cleaner of some kind, a microfiber cloth to clean the lens, or one of the CDs that has the brushes on it. You also, if you're using, now this applies more towards retro PCs, but if you're doing any floppy disk-based systems, lube the rails every so often. That's not an innuendo, I promise. The rails on the floppy drive, which actually hold the disk and then put the write head back and forth, can actually, they have grease built on them, and that will dry up and wear out over time, and then they'll actually start decaying. And then you get read errors. You could even destroy the disk. But look up, if you can find it, look up the service manual for the console. A lot of the older consoles, the service manuals are available on the web. If you do a search for an NES service manual, you can find it. In fact, people have even been selling some of the test cartridges to test the older systems. Okay. If your collection starts to become large and you have some considerably rarer pieces, I don't have any that will qualify in this area right now, but you actually may consider talking to your homeowner's insurance or renter's insurance and upping it a little bit.
Okay. Okay, much better. Hey, still no drop frames. Damn, this new OBS is working great. All right, guys, I'm back. Sorry about that. Had to talk to a man about some fish. Ow. Okay. All right. Actually, before I continue, I have to pop some pills real quick. Half the fun of being chronically ill. Oh, God. Back up. Come on. Come on. Oh. You know it's bad when you, like, tip yourself over and you're not sure you're going to be able to get back up. Anyways, as I was saying, half the fun of being chronically ill is the sheer number of pills I have to take. And you're probably sitting there going, but Jerry, how many pills? You couldn't possibly have that many pills to take. Well, to put it in perspective, I take about 18 pills in the morning. I take about 5 pills at lunch. And I take about another 8 at night. And I have my once a week chemo injection, which is not for cancer, I might add. It happens to be for destroying my immune system. That and the other immunosuppressant are the two things for that. Whew. And then, of course, I have my insulin injections. So I have got a lot of pills. But that's one of the reasons why I do this every year. Because I want there to be cures for kids so that they don't have to do what I'm doing and take that many pills and have that many shots. So if you can while you're here, please donate to My Extra Life. It goes directly to the Children's Hospital of Richmond at VCU. And 100% of the money does. The way that works is the hospitals pay a fee to be a member of the Children's Miracle Network. And the hope is that the pills on my brain, the donations they receive exceed the fees they pay the Children's Miracle Network. And they usually do. But that's how 100% of your donations go to it. And how the Children's Miracle Network people still get paid. So anyways, please donate. That's all I'm going to say. I'm not going to say it too often, but please, pretty please, with sugar on top. And if you can't, spread the word. I know there's people that would love to donate, but financially you're not in a position to do so. Trust me, I get that. Just spread the word. You might inspire someone else to donate what you were going to and then some. So yeah, there's nothing wrong with doing that. Alright, June Lady, since I got your parts for you, you gonna date my engineer now? Huh?
This is Halcyon.
You've returned, and in one piece. Color me impressed.
Ah, I got the parts for the radiators. What now?
Good work. I'll take those. I need you to head through the large door at the far end of engineering. Take the elevator down into the machinery shop. There's a terminal in the back. Activate it when I call over the ship's PA. And bring weapons. There's a slight mantipillar infestation.
Okay. Good boy. Go lay down. Lay down. Good boy. Define slight.
More than a few. Less than a hive. Nothing
Huh?
you can't handle. We were salvaging parts from a ship. Turned out there were eggs inside. They got into the radiators, and here we are.
I'll make my way down there.
Don't worry, Miss Junlei. We'll be super gentle with the ship. You don't got a thing to worry about. I mean, aside from fires and such.
I'm genuinely heartened to hear that. Thank you.
Oh boy.
Where the hell have you been, Private? You've missed 3 shifts without notice. I was fixing that toilet you sent me to repair. The one above the Lost Hope.
That was days ago.
The fucking door. It locked behind me. And it wasn't until this freighter captain found me that I...
You're lucky the chief would
Yeah,
have
truth
my
be told,
ass
just
by
gotta plug it
Tuesday.
in.
Now get back to work, Private.
Right away, sir.
Oh, good. It's the dude I rescued from the crapper. The dapper crapper. He is much happier.
He's much happier from the dapper crap.
The controls are in the back of the machinery shop area. Clear of the radiator. You don't need to kill the mass killers, but I'd be mighty grateful if you did. I've got these things outside.
Everyone all right?
Good news. Some tells me the security mechanicals booted up and killed a bunch of mantis. Bad news. Diagnostic says their circuit boards are fused from the heat, so they're not too picky about who they kill next. Get fast
Cheap.
if you can.
Thanks, Junlei.
Shoot back if you need to. I can always fix them later.
Oh crap.
What?
It automatically started my game. Because I leaned over and slammed my head.
Incoming! Woohoo!
All performing.
Incoming!
You got hurt my little leg. Spacer's choice found a flaw in you. During your adventures, this may happen to your things may happen to your character that can trigger a flaw effect. Taking the flaw is optional, but doing so provides you with a perk. The choice is yours.
I'm sorry. I gotta unbutton mine.
I hope you have a shirt on.
Oh, no. I just figured that I would just bang.
Oh, I figured you might let your pingoos out to play.
No. No, what the
We're taking that flaw.
wanted to drop before, but now maybe I will.
Yeah, stop like breaking their legs.
Stupid Yoshi. Oh my god. You know what? Fine, Yoshi. You can just stay gone.
No, Yoshi just gets donkey punched.
That thing keeps running away from me every time I'm trying to, like, do something. I understand now why. Right, so that's the spin jump, that's regular jump, and I think that jump is wrong.
Run as fast as you can, because I'm gonna punch you in the back of the head if you don't. Okay. out this way. Okay, I went here. Oh, okay. All right.
That's the terminal. I have the parts in position on my side. Go ahead and cycle the droplet pump. And if you don't know what that means, just look for a command that says cycle droplet pumps.
It's okay.
He's coming! Down they go! Everyone all right?
Oh yeah, just ducky picker. Just ducky, you know, just getting zapped.
Just ducky.
Yes.
I just haven't watched it. It's just ducky.
No. No, it's not. No. No. I believe the correct phrase is no and go to hell.
But.
No and go to hell.
But.
No and...
The fact that you knew what I was gonna ask.
Yes. Are you surprised?
A little bit, actually.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, I wouldn't be. Not that hard to figure out, dear.
Oh, really?
I don't know who told you that, but they were lying.
I know you didn't.
Do what?
The way that he was bouncing off the head of the enemy.
On the wall, we are unstoppable.
You notice stars if you press the tape at the end of each area.
Yes, it's called Punch the Yoshi.
It's not called Punch the Yoshi. That is so mean. Yoshi should be alive. That's my emotional support.
Oh. Ooh, leveled up.
Groundbreaker OC thanks.
Yay! I have to earn more stuff.
Good job.
Yeah, I know.
Bandit Vice. One of Yoshi's friends is trapped in the castle by Iggy Koopa. Beat them, push him into the wall.
Found 25% more bits and containers. Oh yay, I like that. That makes me warm and fuzzy on the inside. And the outside. I have another perk.
I died.
Nice job.
Oh, that's cool. So they just, started me over there. Nice. I mean, that's the first time I've died in this game, so...
It's pretty good, huh?
Actually, no, wait. I had 11 lives. It's the second time I've died, but still. There's absolutely nothing to them. Come on. Come on. Into the fire you go.
Alright. That makes me warm and fuzzy. Now, I just got to make sure I looted everything. Can't imagine why the thing picked that flaw to try to get me. Ow. Hi, Annoyed. I'm Jared. Have you checked the charge on your Switch? I just want to make sure it's charging.
Nope. I'm not.
It should be, but
How can I check?
just grab your Switch and look.
Suppose it's time to reevaluate my career goals.
700% no.
Temps are lowering
Good.
across the station. Anyone outside is getting a hell of a light show from the droplet arrays. Thanks for the help. Let me know if you ever need to borrow a wrench or something.
Alright, back to what I was doing.
What were you doing?
Trying to kill this stupid boss.
You'll have to show me how to do that.
Be seeing you, stranger.
Okay, no, what up? Cool.
Careful where you point that thing. If this is about the League of Level 4...
This is Halcyon News. We interrupt your regularly scheduled advertisement for the following story. Spacer's Choice is enjoying an unexpected windfall. Sources credit an increase in salt tuna production for this quarter's earning projections. Great job, as always.
Mario has defeated the demented Ippy Koopa in cast number 1 and rescued Yoshi's friend who is still trapped in an egg. Together, they now travel to Donut Land. Donut disappointment.
Donut Land or No Nut November?
You mean N3? That's what it's called.
Really?
Yes, because it's 3 N's. Continue answering. Ooh, this one's got the guys with little capes. They're so cute. Bye, Yoshi.
For hardworking cannery technicians. This story brought to you by Halcyon News. All the news that's fit to broadcast.
Come here. So give me an extra hit.
My boards are returning to green. What a weight that is off my shoulders. I don't normally tolerate outsiders mucking about in my station's guts, but you're all right. The temperature should be dropping as we speak. I'll see to it the crew knows who kept us all from boiling alive. If you've got time, I believe Edna has a comms issue that could use your attention. I've also authorized Doc and Furu to sell you